As South Africans await the final results of the 2024 general elections, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan is advising the citizens of the country to support the electoral body, the Independent Electoral Commission in the country, to ensure that the process remains credible till the end, despite the challenges experienced with the voters' management devices on election day. Mr. Jonathan, in an exclusive interview with Rise News in Johannesburg, commended the EISA's swift resort to manual voting when several of the voters' accreditation devices failed on Wednesday during election, while urging other African countries to learn from the situation and not be held captive by technology. Well, the former Nigerian president is leading the Election Observer Mission of the Electoral Institute for Sustainable Democracy in Africa, the EISA, to observe elections in South Africa.
Election marking the 30th anniversary of democratic consolidation in South Africa. They did very well, but there were a few logistic issues, definitely, no doubt about that. We don't expect any electoral management body to get 100%, but we have challenges in the field, issues of late arrival of materials. That's a common thing that happens in so many elections. But shortage of materials like ballot boxes in some places, that was a bit worrisome, because the electoral management body must know the total number of voting units. So you cannot run short of ballot boxes. You must know that you have this number of units. And of course the voter, I think the voter assistant device.
Voter management device.
The voter management device, the machine really didn't work very well in most places. Either there was no network for the machine, or maybe it was malfunctioning, or maybe the battery having problems. But the good thing is that they were ready with their manual voters list, and they were instructed that where the machine doesn't work, revert to the manual, and that is what they did. So it really delayed a little, but it doesn't create much of a problem. And I think the main thing I can observe that was a bit disturbing was that there are some polling units that we have too many voters, and to the extent that some voted the whole night. One of the polling units were observed concluded counting of result by 6:20 this morning. Election that started 7 a.m. till 6:20, almost 7 to 7. That's almost 24 hours, which was not, we believe that in subsequent election, they will make sure that no unit should have more than 500 voters. The issue of the ballot boxes, this is very clear. They need to make sure that next election, they must have enough ballot boxes. They know all the voting units. They need to color the ballot boxes to reflect the color of the ballot papers, to make it easier for voters. In that case, you don't need to pay somebody that will just be there guiding people, put here. You don't need it. Because the person sees my ballot box, my ballot paper is green, that box is green, and you put. Apart from these few issues, has to do with logistics. The elections went on well. In spite of the delays, people were calm, people were not riotous, people did not destroy materials. So the behavior of the citizens are quite commendable.
All right, let's talk about how South Africans themselves are viewing these elections. From EISA's monitoring of the elections, what can you say about citizens' believability and trusting in the electoral process?
The key thing about election is that is the electoral management body, the body conducting the election, is it an independent body, or is it a body that is being influenced by people, influential people? One, is it a body that lacks integrity, that can compromise their stand because of inducement? These are the key things. And if the body cannot be linked up with all this, then issues of logistics, that's what you see in the field that day. Yes, there may be lapses, but still the elections will be conducted. There are some cases where elections are deferred. In most countries, in some parts of the country, there will be issues. Elections will not be conducted that day, but the next day or day after, you conduct the election. This is not unique to South Africa. It happens almost everywhere.